Flying a Cessna 172 from Alaska to Montana is an awesome adventure, but it can also be extremely dangerous. On this trip we encountered unbelievable terrain, dodged thunderstorms, and even dealt with poisonous gas.
9 trials. You're so pathetic. You won't go away.
After flying from Palmer, Alaska over to Whitehorse in the Yukon, we've noticed that our Cessna 172 has developed a pretty significant oil leak. Justin and I elect to stay at this 2-star resort in hopes that somebody on the airfield can fix our plane in the morning.
How'd you sleep last night, Justin?
I slept. Like a baby, woke up every hour.
While waiting for the local mechanic to open up shop, we go ahead and top off the fuel on the airplane. And even though it's Canada Day, this gentleman agrees to take a look at our airplane. I didn't even know Canada Day was a thing. But thankfully, he's seen these issues before on these old Cessna 172Hs with the 0300 engine. He spots the issue right away, and it looks like the oil leak is coming from the top of the engine. It looks like we had a pretty significant gusher. The culprit turns out to be a vacuum pump seal, so he caps it off for us.
Well, we found the problem here, and it was just an extra part we don't really need. We're kind of heavy on weight, so we're just going to save it for another day. It's just a vestigial part here.
By losing our vacuum pump, we lose the attitude indicator and the heading indicator, both of which we don't really need because the weather is supposed to be good for the rest of our flight. So we placard these two instruments up, clean up the residual oil, and button up the airplane to see if she's ready to go. As if this trip wasn't hard enough, now we're going to have to do it without two of our main instruments.
Alright, seatbelts on, fuel selector valve on both. Make sure best power throttle is 1/4 inch. That light will stay off for now. Those are all good.
Good?
Yep.
Clear prop!
Alright, so we got the Band-Aid on the oil system here. We'll kind of keep an eye on the oil pressure today. Then our next stop will make sure we don't have any leaks. We'll call ground here in just a second, but we're going to probably shouldn't do a run up here. Let's see what we got here. There's really not a run-up area here, so yeah, I guess maybe they wouldn't care. Just stay right here. We'll do it right here. Let's see. We're up with ground. ATIS is 25.
Charlie Echo Yankee Tower, wind 290 at 4, PFL approved. Clear for the option runway 002. Wind calm, visibility 40 miles, clouds 8,000 few, 1,000 scattered, ceiling 24,000 broken. Temperature 17, dew point 8, altimeter 2985. IFR approach, RNAV 14 left and RNAV 32 right. Both runways are available for arrival and departure. On initial contact, inform ATC you have information whiskey.
All right, we have whiskey. All right, we will go ahead and do the run-up right here just because there's not a run-up area. I'll go ahead and knock that out real quick so it's fast. Big thing is that we don't have suction now, so we don't have to check that. 0. Those are in up. That's good altitude. That's good. Not going up or down. That all looks good. All right, today's leg, we're planning to go to Fort Nelson, which is CYYE. Now, the thing about this particular leg is that, according to ForeFlight, it's about 4 hours and 8 minutes. So, which is a little bit longer than my comfort level. Anything 4 hours or less we'll be good with, but so we're going to get airborne and see what that's going to give us, and if it's not good enough, then we'll land at Watson Lake. But the plan right now is to go to Fort Nelson, which is 394 miles away. There's really not much in between here and there, so we need to make a decision as soon as we get to cruise altitude. So we started at 11 hours on the hops time, and I'll call up ground and we'll get going. All right, you have the controls.
I have the controls.
You have the controls. Just hold up until we talk to them. Whitehorse ground, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray.
48 X-ray ground.
Ground Skyhawk 3148 X-ray, parked at the transient ramp with Whiskey. We'd like to go VFR over to Fort Nelson, CYYE.
48 X-ray ground, roger. I check your outbound for Fort Nelson, runway 14 left, wind 040 at 3, altimeter 2984, taxi for Alpha, contact tower 118.3, holding short of 148 at Alpha, and the tower controller will taxi you across to the parallel for departure once you've made contact.
14 left, 2984, we'll taxi via Alpha, and then we'll contact tower. Prior to crossing, 118.3, Skyhawk 314 X-ray.
48 X-ray, roger.
All right, let's make like a tree and get out of here.
Charlie Echo Yankee Tower, roger. Are you looking for a stop and go or
Going down left.
touch and go?
Yep. All right, seatbelts on, fuel selector valve on both. Mixture best
Charlie Echo
power.
Yankee Tower, PFL approved, wind 050 at 3. Clear for touch and go, runway 14 left.
I'm going to lean you out a little bit here just for the taxi purposes. Lights are on, car heat's off. Everything's good over there. We're in and locked. We're ready.
Green up.
Don't cross the VFR hold line once we get up there until we talk to tower.
Crossing, got it.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Okay, Charlie Alpha, Whitehorse Tower.
You can check Charlie Alpha running up Capital North. I'd like to reposition over to Hangar D, please.
Charlie Alpha Tower, wind 060 at 3, altimeter 2984, hover taxi at your discretion.
Charlie Alpha, thank you, sir.
Whitehorse Tower, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, holding short 14 right at Alpha, ready for departure.
November 3148 X-ray, Whitehorse Tower, taxi Alpha, cross runway 14 right, hold short, runway 14 left.
Cross 14 right, hold short 14 left, Skyhawk 314 X-ray.
And Whitehorse Tower, A-Star helicopter, Kilo.
Typically, you don't have to request permission, but because they asked us to stop hold short yesterday or cleared us to cross, then I'm going to go ahead and ask. It doesn't hurt to ask on a closed runway, even though we know for 100% fact it's closed. But
Yeah.
But we got hold short of this one, so just hold short when we get up here.
Kilo Hotel Oscar Tower, just suggest you remain on the ground for now. I have a A-Star helicopter just repositioning to the hangar there.
I got him coming, thanks. It's all good, Tower, if it works for you, he can lift off there, I can stay back.
So this is actually kind of weird. You actually need to be up there holding short of. This one is back. This one is for that runway over there.
Kilo Hotel Oscar Tower, follow taxiway Echo outbound. The other helicopter has you in sight. Take off, company your discretion.
Kilo Hotel Oscar.
This stupid GoPro Max isn't running. Oh well, the other ones are.
48 X-ray Tower, line up runway 14 left.
Line up away, 14 left, Skyhawk 314 X-ray. Finals clear. We're not cleared to take off.
Kilo Hotel Oscar Tower, negative. Just continue following taxiway Echo. I've got 172 traffic just departed 14 left. If you fly that way, you're probably going to fly into them.
Yeah, I've got him. I will stay on taxiway Echo.
Thank you. Kilo Hotel Oscar Tower, check you have the 172. You're cleared through the approach there or across the field, outbound to the east. And once you're being the Marsh Lake Dam, change over to en route.
Kilo Hotel Oscar, clear cross. Over, change over 10 mile.
48 X-ray Tower, I'll have the takeoff clearance for you in a moment. Just have a helicopter passing from your right to left through your departure path.
Copy, we got him inside. We'll continue to hold, Skyhawk 314 X-ray.
48 X-ray Tower, roger. Okay, the helicopter is actually going same direction as you. I check you've got him in sight. The wind is calm. Cleared for takeoff, runway 14 left.
A-firm inside, clear for takeoff, 14 left, Skyhawk 314 X-ray. That's him. We're cleared.
Water Tower, Foster, Charlie Echo Yankee in left hand.
Well, pressure's looking good.
PFL.
Airspeed's coming alive.
Number 1, Foster, Charlie Echo Yankee.
Coming alive.
A little early on the round out there. Looking at the inner ring.
Oh, yeah, that's right. With the wrong one.
Climb at
60.
70. Climb at 70.
Charlie Echo Yankee Tower, PFL approved. Wind calm, clear touch and go, running 14 left.
Clear touch and go 14 left with PFL, Foster, Charlie Echo Yankee. Whitehorse Tower, Foxtrot Indy Echo Whiskey, sit down on the floats.
Foxtrot India Echo Whiskey, Whitehorse Tower.
Hey, good morning. Just on Schwatka Lake here, looking for a north-south takeoff en route to Ruffner Bay on Atlan Lake on a company note, and I have whiskey with me.
India Echo Whiskey Tower, wind 320 at 3, altimeter 2984, taxi takeoff to Lake, your discretion, and report airborne.
We'll report airborne, India Echo Whiskey, thank you.
India Echo Whiskey Tower, roughly how long until you're airborne?
I'll be another 4 or 5 minutes here. Haven't done a round yet.
India Echo Whiskey Tower, roger, thank you.
Well, I was concerned that we might get stuck there in Whitehorse. It was slightly concerning, but we're on our way. We'll see if we have a leak once we get up over to Watson Lake or Fort Nelson. We'll kind of play that by ear once we get up to cruise altitude. The plan is to cruise probably about 7,500. We're going to be close to the terrain, but we're visual.
48 X-ray Tower, turn on route at your discretion and change to on route frequency 15 miles out.
On course, and then 15 miles out, we'll switch over 314 X-ray. Clear left. Climb us at 70 if you would.
Got to go into the valley there is what you want? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're eventually going to follow this purple line, but we need to climb up to altitude first. That's pretty cool. Too bad the GoPro 360 is not catching it. Oh well.
What altitude did you say we're shooting for?
We're climbing to 7,500 for now.
Okay.
I think we're ultimately going to have to climb to 9,500. We'll just kind of see what the terrain's doing. Last I checked, we're going to be like close to the terrain, but we'll just kind of see what happens up here. Let's turn the air conditioner on.
Whitehorse Tower, Foxtrot Charlie Echo Yankee, left hand down and requesting another PFL.
Charlie Echo Yankee Tower, PFL approved, wind calm, clear, touch and go, runway 14 left.
I'm at 70.
Touch and go 14 left, Foxtrot
Let's
Charlie
get us
Echo
up
Yankee.
to altitude faster. This is super cool. Those lakes are beautiful there. Tower, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, switching advisory. Yep.
48 X-ray Tower, roger, thank you.
These are pretty good.
I like them.
Says they're zero sugar, not a low calorie product. I like not low calories.
I need my energy. I need my fat.
Exactly. We're leveling off at 7,500. We'll set the power here in just a second. What I'm thinking right now is let's take a look at our GPS. And my big thing is I definitely don't want to see red, but ideally this trek right here, you don't really want to see yellow either. And it looks like we're going to be pretty good. Obviously, I can see outside, and I can see the terrain pretty well. So if we go much higher, we're going to be running into a few of these clouds. We've got to stay out of those. But I think we'll stay here at 7,500. If we need to climb a little bit, we can. We'll see what this gets us. All right, so now that we're at our cruise altitude of 7,500, basically I'm going to take a look at our ground speed of 95 knots here. We've been flying for exactly 0.6, so kind of a conservative number for me is 4 hours of flight time. That gives us our 30 minutes of fuel. And so what I'm thinking now is 367 nautical miles divided by
Skylane
94.
689 is 30 east
Got
of
3.9 hours of flight time. We've been flying for 0.6.
and following the
We
other
don't have enough to meet our minimum requirement of 30 minutes reserve. So we're going to have to land at Watson Lake. I don't think there's any way around it. Unless we pick up a tailwind within the next 15 minutes, we'll call it 11:45. If we haven't picked up a significant tailwind up to 110 knots by 11:45, our plan is to land at Watson Lake. If we do pick up that tailwind, we'll reevaluate, but I'm not expecting it. So right now the plan is to head to Watson Lake, land there, get a top off, and then head to Fort Nelson. So on our way to Watson Lake now. 21 miles out from Watson Lake. We definitely weren't going to make it with the required reserves of fuel all the way to Fort Nelson, so we'll make a quick pit stop at Watson Lake and then we'll head on from there. But I guess when I make these radio calls, I think I'll have a little bit of fun. What do you think? Should we make it seem as if Sean Connery is here?
If you do that. Working on your Scottish accent there, Sean.
I don't have a very good Scottish accent.
No, you don't.
It will be my American Sean Connery. Watson Lake Radio, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray.
3148 X-ray, Watson Lake Airport.
Watson Lake Radio, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray, 7,000, descending 20 miles to the west, inbound.
Roger, wind is light and variable, altimeter 2982, no reported traffic.
2982, thank you, 314 X-ray.
On the other end of the... Oh, it's Sean Connery coming in, guys! Get your cameras out!
Gotta have a little fun every now and then, Justin. It was not a very good radio call, but I was so excited I thought Sean Connery making the radio call. But
Trying to control my bearing so you wouldn't crack. Trying to gauge on ground speed.
yeah, let's go ahead and reach in. We gotta go back and get my wallet, Justin.
Oh, too late now. Forever lost.
I thought I lost it for a second, but it just had slid down in my pocket a little bit farther than I'm used to.
Have to accept that as a casualty, Josh.
There's too much stuff in there, Justin. Don't take
Everything's replaceable.
Not everything. Careful about getting in the yellow. We got quite a few bumps here.
Oh.
What's
I
that?
was sitting there staring at that the whole time.
Yeah, I was wondering why you're.
Okay,
like,
I see it now. I'm like, oh yeah, I see a straight line.
Headed down, so like.
So we are
steep,
laying on the water.
basically.
Okay, that makes more sense. Like, man.
So pattern altitude is 3,300, so we can go much below that until we're closer.
Okay. Like, man, that's a skinny runway, but I'm ready.
Let's see how good you are. This is actually a really big runway, so you might flare a little high by accident. So just be ready for that. This was a old World War II base, I believe.
Have you landed here?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the one we stayed the night in, and the bat came out in the morning. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Watson Lake traffic, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray, 10 miles to the west, straight in for 09, Watson Lake.
Magic.
Sean Connery is here.
Golf Yankee Alpha Victor, Watson Lake Airport.
Yankee Alpha Victor running on the apron for a westbound departure to Whitehorse.
Roger, wind is light and variable, altimeter 2982. I have an aircraft inbound from the west.
Yankee Alpha Victor will check for traffic. We'll lift off 27 and climb to 6,500 feet.
Roger.
Keep an eye out for him. We may have to go to a downwind.
Yankee Alpha Victor, we check you off 2005.
Yankee Alpha Victor.
Just watch out for him. Watson Lake traffic, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray, 7 miles to the west, straight in 09, Watson Lake.
Roger, wind light variable, and I just had a helicopter depart headed to the west.
Copy, thank you.
And what's your altitude?
3,400.
Copy that. Climbing through 2,500 north of the approach.
Oh, don't see him yet.
He said north of the approach end?
Head north. Oh, looking. Oh, looking.
He's in a helicopter, so. Watson Lake traffic, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray, 5 to the west, straight in 09, 3,300, Watson Lake.
And Yankee Alpha Victor is climbing through 3,500 for 6,500. Clear the traffic. Thank you.
Be above us now. Wherever you want.
Got quite a bit of water on this river down here.
A little high.
I can go back to my more official Sean Connery. I get nervous and then my accent isn't so good, you know?
Yeah.
You can go run your checklist if you want.
Oh man, I feel so bad on both.
Extra best power. Full rich.
Rich. Fly again. Cab lights come on?
Oh no.
Negative, just kidding. Make sure you're paying attention.
Once we get a little bit closer, you can turn the carb heat on, but I'll just wait just a little bit, another potato or two.
Yeah.
Woo. So this is going to be deceiving because this runway is really wide. Well, I mean, you can use the pappies, I guess, but I was fixing to say we're high. But don't forget your flaps.
That'll come in handy.
I mean, you don't have to use them or anything, but...
I gotta do something. 1, 2, 3. Slow down a little there.
And you can use your carb heat now.
Carb heat on.
Yankee Alpha Victor is clear to zone. Thank you. Have a good day.
Roger, have a good flight.
Watson Lake traffic, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, final 09, Watson Lake. Light and variable, should be a smooth landing then, Justin.
Oh man, make me think.
We'll
Gotta
see.
do good now.
Better do good.
Watson Lake Radio, this is Golf Whiskey Mike.
Give me a touch of power.
Golf Whiskey Mike, Watson Lake Air Radio.
I'm just flying code on now. Can I report a wildfire to you?
Yeah.
There's a little fire that's about 10 miles directly north of Airplane Lake.
Airplane Lake, okay, got it.
Thank you, talk to you in a bit.
Roger.
A little less power. Nose up. Less power. Now I'll start lowering it down. Nose down. There you go. Looking for 60 now. Keep coming. Looking good, looking good. Keep coming down. Keep coming down. Keep coming down. Now start. Nose up, nose up. Bump of power, bump of power, bump of power. There you go.
Almost bounced it.
You just flared a little too aggressively.
Yeah.
So the trick is, as you're sinking, you want to pull back at the same rate. So you pulled back a little aggressively, a little bit more than that sink rate, and then we jumped back up in the air. And I told you to give more power because what was going to happen is you're going to plop it in.
Yeah, I almost felt it.
But you got it. We're here.
Fuel's on the left.
Let's get some fuel.
Oh, you recording?
Yes, Justin, I was recording. How's that funny to you?
So Josh was telling me this was an old airfield, and I was like, nah, there ain't no way. And like, actually was. An old military base. Kind of cool. I like always kind of see those kind of things. Well, he actually told me the truth.
I don't just pull these things out of my rear end, Justin. I push them out. It's recording now. Let's go.
Flip up!
Test.
Test.
Okay. I'll do a quick run up here. Looks like winds are variable. Actually, there's nobody behind us. Let's just do it here. Let's see. While I'm doing this, check your stuff real quick. My controls. That's Fort Nelson. EYYE.
Y.
Alright.
Alright.
My brakes are good. You want to check yours?
Good.
Alright, my controls.
Here, your control.
And Watson Lake Radio, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray. We're going to be taking runway, or back taxiing 09 for a 27 departure to the west, going to Fort Nelson, Watson Lake.
3148 X-ray, Watson Lake Air Radio, Roger. Wind is light and variable, altimeter 2981, and no report traffic.
I guess I said we're going west, but we're actually going east to Fort Nelson. Okay. Alright, carb heat's off, landing and taxi lights are on. Fuel selector valve is on both, flaps are up. We're ready to go. Final's clear. Oh, yeah, hot in here. We turn these air conditioner back on.
Blur.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of runway, but we'll taxi down a few potatoes and then we'll come back.
Sweet potato. Oh, it's a wide one.
What?
The wide runway.
Yeah, it is. And Watson Lake, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, taking 09 for an east departure out of Fort Nelson, Watson Lake. Alright, power set. Power's looking good.
Make sure you watch the inside, not the outside.
I can't even see the outside, so it's impossible for me to make a mistake, Justin. Gazelle's 55 knots. I'm just going to be real gentle. Turn on my noise canceling so I can hear.
Oh, I can hear you.
That didn't change your headset, Dingleberry. Oh, this is beautiful. This is super cool. I'm doing what you did. I was climbing out of 60.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to say, well, you know, maybe he's doing something special. I don't know.
I was intentionally climbing a VX to clear those trees.
Yeah, Chris.
See what I do.
What I'm here for.
This town is like, there's literally nothing between here and Fort Nelson, and then literally nothing between here and Whitehorse. There's like a grease spot in the road, everybody stops as they're making the journey north, and it's almost like you have to stop here for fuel. It's basically mandatory if you're making that long trip. I literally, this last time we drove up, I was driving that Ford diesel I had, and that thing thought we had like 3 miles left before we ran out of fuel. So a little bit of a pucker factor there as we were coming into town.
Pucker? Your face was puckering?
Basically, yeah. Isn't that what that means?
Oh, that's what I thought. I don't know. I still haven't seen any wildlife yet.
Well, it's only on the Alaskan side, Justin.
I guess. That makes sense.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool footage out of here. We're going to be going through some mountains pretty soon again. There's like, this is kind of just like a low little valley area, and then we go back through some more mountains. Hey, you let a horse fly in.
I don't know, that was you.
Did I let that guy in?
It looks mean, looks mad.
He does look mad.
On that
Hopefully
side.
It's just not like a bee or something. We get stung 100 times.
As long as he stays on your side. I don't mind if you get stung, as I don't. I'm willing to make
We're
that
never
sacrifice.
getting him out. He's literally going to be in here until we get to Fort Nelson.
His buddies are never going to believe him.
Good one. Kids these days. Buying books and sending them to school, all they want to do is lick the pages.
I told you let him in.
And Watson Lake traffic, Skyhawk 314 at X-ray, 10 nautical miles to the east, 4,000, climbing 7,500, Watson Lake.
Oh, Roger, Dodger.
Oh, I forgot my Sean Connery accent.
I think you're a different person.
Watson Lake Radio. They'll probably think it's the guy that made the landing.
Well, they weren't there, they didn't see it, Josh.
Yeah, maybe they were looking at their phones at the time. Sean Connery would never have 2 landings at once. We could log 2 landings, Justin.
That's what I'm saying. I know what I'm doing, Josh.
We landed in...
There's a touch and go land.
We landed in an LZ in Syria one time, and I don't bounce landings too often in the C-130, but I bounced that one, and one of the passengers, who's a security forces dude, he said, "Did we land twice?" And
Yes.
I said,
Yes, we did.
"Yes, we did. I needed to log an extra landing."
Oh.
Okay. Alright, we're about 19 miles out from Fort Nelson here. It's super hazy, as you can see from these fires up north. I don't know how fires like that even start. Ridiculous, though.
Lightning, maybe?
I was getting concerned about the visibility. It was pretty bad. I would say it was 5 miles or so earlier, and I thought it might get even worse. Oh, let's call them up with our terrible British accent and see what's going on.
Hey.
Fort Nelson Radio, Skyhawk 314 at X-ray, 18 miles to the west, 5,500 with the weather.
They'll never know. Go to switch to an
Cessna
Australian.
November 3148 X-ray, Fort Nelson Radio. Roger, runway 04, wind 320 at 2, altimeter 2975.
2975, thank you. Runway 4, Skyhawk 314 at X-ray.
Switch between Australian and British.
48 X-ray, Roger, runway 04, advise ETA.
we're about 12 minutes out for 314 X-ray.
Oh, man. I think there's a lot of British caught up there today.
48 X-ray, roger, report 5 miles.
314 X-ray. Yeah, I was born in Britain, but I actually was raised in Australia.
Aye?
Next to the Wallabies.
Oh, what's a wallaby?
That's why my accent's a little strange. It's not the fact that I'm American and don't know how to do these accents.
Papa Whiskey,
Oh,
roger.
that makes more sense.
Look at that thunderstorm up there.
That's a good one, Coach.
That one's not one you want to mess with.
That's a lot of smoke.
Did she say, let us know when we're about 5 minutes out? I think she did.
5 miles or 5 minutes, yeah. Whichever comes
I think
first.
she said 5 minutes. We're going about 1.5 nautical miles a minute, so they'll be roughly the same. Yeah, look at these lines, Justin.
Tony Josh or
These
something.
little grid lines.
All the grid lines. All those lines we see on the map.
You know what I bet this is? I wonder if they sectioned out this property back in the day to like do homesteading.
Could be something.
And then they decided that didn't work out or something. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
I know Alaska has the same thing.
A lot of the grid lines like this, or
They're just random lines that are just perfectly straight.
I mean, I know a lot of it's logging roads, but I don't know. There's some giant cutouts. We're going to fly over some giant cutouts further southeast as we go kind of near the Fort St. John area. Actually, I believe that's it dead ahead there.
I was wondering, I saw something.
I'm going to slip up and forget my British accent, and then whatever accent that is. And then they're going to be like, we caught you.
The hybrid British Australian. Wait a minute.
Report to the Border Patrol. Going to throw your brother-in-law in prison again. I was really concerned when I was talking on the phone with him yesterday.
I'm like, man, we're going to have to fly all the way back to
Papa Whiskey down and clear.
November, Papa Whiskey, roger.
We're just risking and start hopping onto different airfields where they can't find us so we get out of here. And track us so they don't know where we're at.
That's true.
Give different call signs to throw them off. Oh, both fires over there. Cars everywhere.
I know. It almost seems like they're on purpose because, like, how would that start any other way?
I don't know.
It's not like a lot of extra roads up there or anything. There you go, watch this. It just draws you a little line saying that's a visual approach. And this will like come down and it'll actually give you a glide slope and stuff. That's kind of neat.
Fancy. Oh, that's pretty neat.
There's really nobody else here, so I'll do kind of a straight in or like a long base to final. Did you say 5 minutes or 5 miles? I can't remember. We're about 5 minutes right now. Fort Nelson, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, 5 minutes out from landing 04.
48 X-ray, roger. Report entering the zone.
314 X-ray.
During the zone?
I'm assuming it's his airspace right here.
The load area, 51561.
Oh, that makes a little bit more sense. So she probably did want 5 miles in.
Stargard 561, roger.
Well, there it is, Fort Nelson.
There it is. I spent about a week there with Derek. Derek was real concerned.
I believe it. Eric McLemore, one of a kind.
Yeah, he is. It's nice and clear over here.
I don't know what you're worried about. It's
I
nice.
was concerned about that visibility there for a little bit. Fort Nelson, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, 5 miles out, entering the zone for 04.
48 X-ray, roger. Report final.
What X-ray? I know this is not a standard approach, but there's literally nobody else out here, so we can basically do whatever we want.
Oh, I see. Bend the rules, bend the rules.
Bend the rules, bend the rules.
Oh.
So you can experience Fort Nelson from the air here, Justin.
Oh, look, I know what you're complaining about. It's a nice town.
Where your vehicle got worked on was way back here in the back.
Nelson, are you Fireguard 561? Fireguard 561, Fort Nelson Radio. I just wonder if I can get an updated temperature and wind, please. Wind 210 at 2 and temperature is 30.
Extra best power throttle set when you got taxi lights on. So go ahead and get the carb heat on.
Carb it up.
Way back ready to land this beast. Blow us down a little bit here. Southbound profile. What?
Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Point.
Into wide arc. Coming down with the flaps.
Fort Nelson Radio, Airspray 485, off to the east, 5,600.
Fort Nelson Radio, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, final 04. Fort Nelson.
Fort X-ray, roger. Break, Airspray 485, Fort Nelson Radio. Runway 04, wind 200 at 3, altimeter 2975, say position.
2975, we're 17 miles, 5,300 directly east of the field. Plan a right base 04, landing in 5 minutes.
Roger, runway 04, report entering the zone.
Sky entering the zone, Airspray 485.
Let's see if I can land on that first batch of touchdown points there. What do you think?
I don't believe you.
Right on them. Right on them.
I don't believe it.
Right on them. Here we go.
I don't believe it.
I'm a little high for it, but we got this. I got this.
Oh,
Right on
I'm
them.
gonna make it.
Right on them.
I'm gonna make it.
Oh, I landed just beyond them.
Oh, so close.
So close. Those are like 100 feet long, probably.
At 100 feet of air.
Yeah.
Man, it's showing 80 degrees.
Oh, it's hot down here. Turn that AC back on.
Oh, man. I thought it was supposed to be cold in Kansas.
Apparently not. Apparently it's like Alaska. It's hot in the interior. Oh, look at that. Heavy over there. Some kind of Russian something. See that? That's weird looking.
Oh, I'm trying to remember the Soviet Union song.
Remember it? Think back to your Rocky days. Rocky 4. Actually, that's not a Russian. That's a fire bomber. But that is. That makes sense because they have all these fires here.
Oh, your power.
All right, we're here at Fort Nelson, and we're going to get some fuel and continue on our journey.
Clear prop.
A lot of firefighting going on in this general vasectomy.
Vasectomy.
Oh, that was neat.
That was cool.
How neat was that?
Oh, pretty neat.
All right, anytime you want to make a left turn, you can.
All right.
At Fort Nelson traffic, Skyhawk 314 X-ray making a left turn out off of runway 22 here. We're headed VFR to Fort St. John, 2,000, climbing 5,500.
Fort X-ray, roger, report 5 miles out.
314 X-ray. They said report 5 miles, and that's just what we'll do.
Oh, we at 275?
What?
7,500?
Let's go to 5,500.
1,500.
It starts going down once we get closer to Fort St. John. I'm not trying to get comfy with you or anything, Justin. I'm just trying to cool this camera off a little bit. I know don't ask, don't tell is not a thing anymore, Justin, but I'm not trying to get cozy with you. Just trying to cool this camera off because GoPro's retarded. If they made cooling packs for these...
Or just make a battery that doesn't heat up.
Yeah, just make a battery that doesn't... That's what these are supposed to do, but they don't.
Is that the white one?
Yeah, the Enduro. They are better for sure. All right, 165 miles to Fort St. John. This should be a little faster. Looks like you got about 10 knots of tailwind right now. We'll see what happens once we get up to cruise. 5,500. 8,500.
100.
100.
100.
100, 100 and a half.
Yeah, baby.
Fort Nelson Radio, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, 5 miles out to the south for Fort St. John, 3,300, climbing 5,500. We'll see you guys later.
Fort X-ray, roger. Have a good flight.
And we got some petrol in us and we're headed on our way.
You literally missed a golden opportunity there.
I know, I didn't. The thought didn't even cross my mind, but who do we need to be when we go into Fort St. John?
Oh,
I I could be an old man with a little bit of a lisp. How's that sound to you, Justin?
Right.
That one might get a little bit more attention.
It's fine. Be nicer to you.
All right. A little bit of scenery on the way. Let's head over to Fort St. John. About a, what is it, hour and a half flight?
About.
What'd I say? What'd I tell you?
Hour 40 maybe?
Hour 56 minutes.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
167 nautical miles. Should be burning 16.8 gallons. And this will be our second to last stop for the night. Let's do this. Looks like the weather's getting way better. All right, so we're having to make a little bit of a decision here. Fort St. John is developing some small thunderstorms, some really small cells here. I really don't want to be flying through those. So I'm thinking about going to Peace River. It's kind of a game of like, it's not really out of the way to go to Peace River for our next leg, but are we going to get hit if we go to Peace River is the question. Or we go around to the right there, and then those should be gone by the time we get to Fort St. John. I'm really not sure. Let's take a risk, Justin, and let's go.
I like it.
Let's go right. Let's not go to Peace River, because I think what's going to happen is if we go to Peace River, all these thunderstorms coming towards us here are probably going to hit us right about the time we get there. But if we go right and dodge these that way, then we should be fine, and that should pass us about the same time that we're off to the side of them. Make a little bit bigger bid, just because that's a cell right there. That one, I don't mind going through that way over there. I think that's just some of this green we're seeing. But I don't want to go through that, because I don't know what kind of updrafts and downdrafts are in that. So let's see if we can do this without dying. That'd be pretty nice. And I'll put.
Cool.
We definitely could have made it to Peace River, but I think Fort St. John's a better decision. We're just going to try to go around this thunderstorm as it moves up to meet us here. Activate.
So we're still going to the same spot.
Yeah, just go straight ahead until we get clear of this, and then we're going to go around the backside of this thunderstorm.
We're going to zig and zag.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Oh, look at all that red. It's really red.
Oh, it's about to get real.
Yeah, I don't mind that little bit of water there. We might get a little bit of an airplane bath. But then I think once you get over there to that water, basically make a bid that way and it'll pass us right by.
Thread the needles.
We'll hit the brakes and it'll fly right by.
That makes it easy. We'll stop midair, pause.
How do you feel about threading the needle, Justin? Just kind of
like
cut
needles.
through those two cells right there.
Oh.
Stay a little bit further right though. And I'm not usually a big fan of going through the middle of cells, but in this case, these two cells aren't super mature, and also I can see through it, so I'm not super worried. So these should be fine. There's no anvil or anything, so go ahead and listen to the weather. 28.5.
88, shower distant southeast to west. Sigmat Golf 1, valid until 0410 Zulu. Frequent thunderstorms observed within 40 nautical mile wide line between 30 miles to the southwest of Fort St. John, 245 miles to the east of Dawson Creek. Top flight level 340, moving north-northeast, 15 knots, no change. Runway 12, inform Fort St. John radio, you have information Oscar.
Oscar.
Fort St. John information Oscar, weather at 0000 Zulu, wind 110 at 10, visibility 15, 6,400 scattered CB, 9,600 scattered, ceiling 23,000 broken, temperature 24, dew point 9, altimeter 29er, 88, shower distant southeast to west. Sigmat Golf 1, valid until 0410 Zulu. Frequent thunderstorms observed within 40 nautical mile wide line between 30 miles to the southwest of Fort St. John, 245 miles to the east of Dawson Creek. Top flight level 340, moving north-northeast, 15 knots, no change. Runway 12, inform Fort St. John radio, you have information Oscar.
Oscar.
Fort St. John information Oscar, weather at 00.
Beetle is being threaded.
We'll call them up once we're through this little cell area. Let's see if we're past these two little cells right here.
Did you get the windshield wipers fixed?
Oh, I just turn on the windshield wipers.
Oh.
You know, on the C-130, you can actually turn on the windshield wipers. They have them.
Oh, must be nice.
And you can actually overspeed the windshield wipers if you're flying too fast with them on.
Oh.
Yeah, this is going to be fine.
Oh, just a little misty out there.
Just a little bit misty. My GoPros are getting wet. Good thing they're waterproof.
Hope so.
Hope so, anyways.
They depressurize, they have water.
And Echo Alpha Victor now passing 4,000 established on a 4-mile final, straight in for Canadian helicopters.
Echo Alpha Victor, roger, wind 140 at 10, gusting 18.
Echo Alpha Victor, thanks.
You can kind of head down a little bit if you want. So, 3,300 is a pattern here.
3,300.
Yeah. And Redneck Josh is going to call up Fort St. John radio here in just a few minutes. Let him know we're inbound with Oscar.
They didn't know you were an American. They're going to know now.
If they didn't know by this end number, they's going to know now.
Oh, wasn't too bad. Oh, not too bad.
Fort St. John radio, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray.
Station calling Fort St. John radio, say again.
Fort St. John radio, this is Skyhawk 3148 X-ray. We're 26 nautical miles to the west with Oscar 4,500 descending. I forget, they like to know approximately how long. I think it's like, should be like 20.
November 3148 X-ray, Fort St. John radio.
Go ahead and climb back up. They obviously can't hear us. Fort St. John radio, this is Skyhawk 3148 X-ray. About 25 nautical miles to the west with Oscar 5,000 feet inbound.
48 X-ray, runway 12, wind 140 at 9, gusting 16, altimeter 29er, 9er1, squawk 0366.
29er 9er1, 12, and 0366 on the squawk for 3148 X-ray. Oh yeah.
48 X-ray, roger, ident, advise ETA and confirm your inbound for runway 12.
We're about 20 minutes out with the flash, and we're going to be headed over to the north ramp for fuel.
48 X-ray, roger, ident, and confirm your landing on runway 12.
Affirm. 0366 with the flash and landing 12 for 3148 X-ray.
48 X-ray, roger, runway 12.
We'll hit it again just in case. I told her 12 like 5 times. It's probably not. He probably didn't understand the words that were coming out of my mouth.
You understand words that come out of my mouth? Best part of that whole movie.
I see the field. So you got this lake thingy here, and then at the end of the lake, it's like pointing to the field. It's like kind of a grayish white patch up there.
Yes, sir. We're coming in straight hot.
Yeah.
And Echo Alpha Victor's on the ground, and could you please close our flight plan?
These Canadian radios kind of throw me off because
Echo Alpha Victor, roger, flight plan closed, alerting service terminated.
Approximately how much time it is.
Thanks, have a good day.
23 minutes and 37 seconds.
Well, it's because I think it's because they don't have radar. So they need to know, like, kind of how long before I'll be roughly where. She seemed nervous, like she didn't understand me, though.
48 X-ray, weather update, light rain showers.
Copy the light rain showers for 314 X-ray. So this particular airport is a cross runway like that. We're basically going to have to land and then back taxi to come back to get over the ramp.
You want to do a lasso?
No. There's no reason to do a lasso.
Let's go this far. Landing hold short.
I accidentally did a lasso on one of my cross countries as a student pilot.
When it's illegal?
It is illegal, but I didn't realize that he was asking me to do a lasso, and he said, hey, do you mind stopping by Delta by the time you get down? And I said, sure, I can do that. Delta's like, Delta! 4,000 feet down the runway. And then as somebody else was coming in to land, he cleared somebody else to land. He said, because that guy's going to be doing a lasso on whatever runway it was. I was like, oh, shoot, I messed up.
Oh, GCC gonna fire me for this one?
I told my instructor as soon as we landed, I was like, hey, I made a mistake. And he's like, you'll be fine. You didn't mean to do it. All right, Justin, only one landing this time.
No. Mess up one time my entire life. You won't let it down. Yeah, I didn't bring my rain jacket, so you may have to fuel this one on your own, Josh.
He did say light rain showers.
This sugar can't melt.
Well, we might just chill in the airplane for a brief second, depending on how much rain is actually coming down there. No, we literally did that exactly right. We swung around there, and that avoided all those little cells.
Well, I'm saying I'm here to thread needles.
That tall one that they were talking about, she said the tops were 340 on these ones way over here. Those are the ones that were kind of headed toward Peace River, so we made the right decision. These ones over here, kind of near us, they were real short. Just some tiny little cells.
48 X-ray, Fort St. John radio.
Go for 314 at X-ray.
48 X-ray, runway surface condition, runway 12, condition code 555. All thirds reported as 100% wet at 01130 Zulu.
Copy, 314 at X-ray, thank you. What's all that mean, Justin?
Runway's a little bit of wet, just letting us know.
He's basically telling us the runway's wet, but the braking action's good. If it's like 3 or less, then you should start thinking about life. 1 or less, you should have really long runway in this particular plane, or probably don't go there in a big plane. 0, you should definitely not be landing there for the flight kind conditions. See the smokestack over there? Come left a little bit more. The runway we're landing on is going that way, and there's another one kind of peeking off to the side. It's an X shape. If you go from the smokestack about 3 fingers, that runway's going like this, in kind of a brownish field, in front of the rain. Oh, we're going to get hit by rain like as soon as we get down. You see it?
I don't actually.
Okay.
I'm blinded.
Just stay here and keep trucking this way.
I'm just following GPS.
You'll see it in a second.
It'll pop up in a minute.
I'll put you on a visual approach here for runway 12. Activate.
Oh, yeah. That's the way to do it.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
We'll just make an instrument landing here.
I mean, this is basically what an instrument landing looks like. Technically, this is able to do that, but the GPS is out of date for instrument stuff, so we'll have to only use it for situational
Oh,
awareness.
it's way out there.
You
I'm
see it
looking
now?
here in the houses. I'm like, what? My goodness. I see it now. Okay, I was looking in the wrong spot. That's why.
Just stay at this altitude until this little thingy comes down. And just keep that thingy on the thingy.
Keep thinking on the
See what I mean, Vern?
See what you mean, Vern.
Fort St. John radio is Alpha
I'm right here,
Delta, with you
checklist.
now. Showing back from station. Time through 8,000.
Fuel rich.
Fuel selector valve.
Alpha Delta Echo, Fort St. John radio. Roger.
Just push it
Check
in.
your winds now.
Alpha Delta Echo, winds 160 at 5, and Cessna 172 traffic on a 6-mile final, runway 12.
Okay, is he full stop or is he doing circuit?
Alpha Delta Echo, full stop.
Okay, we'll plan on 30 if it works. We'll call you 5 on final.
Alpha Delta Echo, roger. And roger, runway 30.
And Fort St. John, Skyhawk 314 X-ray, 5-mile final for 12, full stop. Fort St. John.
48 X-ray, roger. Traffic 16 miles to the southeast inbound, a Cessna 340, planning a straight in runway 30, 1 minute after you. Can you exit onto runway 03?
Hey, firm, we can do that for Skyhawk 314 X-ray.
48 X-ray, roger.
That means you just got to get down before that crossing runway. That means you're doing a lasso, Justin.
Ooh, buddy.
Alpha Delta Echo, runway surface condition, runway 30, condition code 555. All thirds reported as 100% wet at 0113 Zulu.
That's even better. This is weird. It's not towered, but they're basically passively controlling us.
Yeah.
Hold your nose up and get on that glide slope, Justin. And use your flaps when you can, too, once you're in the wide arc.
Right arc.
Wrong way.
2, 3.
Look at this.
No bueno. Within the more flaps. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. There we go. That helped.
I mean, the Pappies are doing the same thing as that is, but that's super helpful. So you can tell your left, center line, and your high. So this is good corrections. All right, start feeding that back in so you don't go below the glide path, the power that is. Yeah. We want 60 knots. There you go. Sometimes you have to make corrections together though.
For St. John Alpha Delta goes 2 miles back from the cloud, just accident traffic.
Alpha Delta Echo, Cessna 172 traffic, short final runway 12, estimating touchdown in about 45 seconds.
Okay, we'll slow her up and see how it works. If not, we'll just go on.
Nose is down.
Alpha Delta Echo, roger.
As soon as you land, I'm going to grab the controls so we can get out of his way though.
Okay, that's fine.
So just go ahead and get your landing in. Keep coming down. This is a giant runway, so it's going to feel like you're high when you flare. Nose down, power. Nose down, power.
More power?
Nose down, power. Yes. Keep coming down. Keep coming down. All right, now you can start pulling that power out. Nose down. Nose down. Nose down. Nose down. Nose down. Now flare. Now flare. Now flare.
I got the second
Right
landing
rudder. I bet you didn't have any help
Alpha
that
Delta
time.
Echo,
My
Cessna
controls.
172 traffic, just touched down
My
runway
controls.
12, planning to exit the intersection. We'll let you know when they're clear.
Okay, we check that up the site, and that'd be great. Thank you.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, he just had a little bit of an incomplete flare there. Just didn't quite pull up enough. But there was a landing.
We survived.
Looks almost like we planned this, eh?
Sure does. That's what it looks like. All right, let's get some fuel and get going.
Hurry up, it's not raining. Also a busy airport.
This is a giant airfield, though. See how big this runway is?
Another military one?
It's an old military base, yeah.
Got these things everywhere.
I guess, like, during World War II, this was a huge place they operated out of. Which who even knew that the Canadians operated during World War II?
They part of World War II? I really don't know.
Apparently so. Apparently so.
They were ready for the Nazis to come. That, knock joke, Josh.
No, I don't.
Knock.
Who's there?
The German army.
German army. Who?
Me will ask the questions here! Noise canceling.
All right. Hello. Greetings, Earthlings. We are headed from here to CYRM, which is Rocky Mountain House. Activate. All right, it says we are, this is still thinking about its life. It says we are 307 miles away, which is 3.5 hours. We'll see what happens once we get airborne and see how quickly we can get there, but I think we can beat that. I think we can make it closer to 3, so let's get the weather and get out of here. My brakes are good if you want to check yours real quick.
Bueno.
Wow, you're going to throw a smasher spinner into the ground and we're stuck here for a week. It'll be fun.
Be fun.
All right, let's do this run up real quick. We'll get out of here. Fort St. John Radio, Scout 3148 X-ray. You remembered.
November 3148 X-ray, Fort St. John Radio.
Fort St. John Radio, Scout 3148 X-ray. We have information Romeo parked over here at the fuel ramp. Like to taxi 12, and then we're VFR to Rocky Mountain House, Charlie Yankee Romeo Mike.
48 X-ray, roger, runway 12, wind 150 at 5, altimeter 29991, squawk 0366, and advise intended altitude.
0366, and we're going to start out at 3,500 for now until we get past these clouds, and then 5,500 for 314 X-ray.
48 X-ray, roger.
Hey, I'm getting pretty good at that accent.
Are you sure you didn't ever good them, girl?
And Fort St. John Radio, Skyhawk 3148 X-ray, taking runway 12 at Alpha for a departure over to Rocky Mountain House.
48 X-ray, roger. 48 X-ray traffic inbound from the southeast, a Super King Air, estimating runway 30 in about 6 minutes. Looks like they're just about a 10 mile final. Can you detour south of the river?
Yes, sir. We can head south of the river now. We still don't have him assigned for 314 at X-ray.
48 X-ray, roger.
Yeah.
Carson 444, Fort St. John radio.
Good for Carson 444.
Carson 444, traffic on the departure leg off runway 12, 4 miles to the southeast. Now southbound to Cessna 172, planning 3,500 feet.
Okay, we have them on TCAS and to confirm, are they going south of the river?
Carson 444, affirmative, they're going to go south of the river for your approach.
Okay, that's great. We'll keep a lookout for them, but there should be no conflict.
Carson 444, roger.
Where is this guy? They said he's coming from the southeast, so he should be coming from over there. Never saw this dude. Oh, there he is. No factor.
Oh, yeah, he gone. He died.
And Fort St. John Radio, Skyhawk 314 X-ray. We got that King Air in sight now. We're heading on course now for
48 X-ray, roger. Break, Carson 444, say again.
We just said we had them visual first.
Carson 444, roger.
Just joking.
Alright, what do we got here? Let's see. So we got 300 nautical miles to go. We'll see once we get up to altitude. I'm climbing up to 5,500 now.
Turn the turbos on.
Turn the turbos on.
You know, if you had a dual engine, Josh, we'd go fast.
But if you have two engines, there's twice as many chances for your engine to go out.
But also a spare engine if your one does go out.
Yeah, but it's twice as likely to have an engine failure.
But 100% more probability of having an extra engine if one goes out.
No. Alright, so it looks like these thunderstorms are going to be well clear as soon as we get down to Grand Prairie area and head down. We're going to have some little bit of rain and stuff as we head down to Rocky Mountain House, CYRM. But I don't think anything's going to be too severe of a threat. So we'll keep an eye out. We'll fly around the cells if we see them. But this is your captain saying that this is probably going to be a really nice 3-hour flight.
A 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour.
The weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the Cessna would be lost. The Cessna would be lost.
That stinks! Oh my goodness, child!
However, thank you, roger. Thanks, have a good day.
Good night, child. You're so pathetic, you. It won't go away.
Oh, Justin.
That was terrible.
That's the altitude. It's getting me.
Still strong. Suck it out your end. Woo!
Justin, when we were going through training, they told us you couldn't leave that in your body.
Those ones you leave inside, Josh.
What if I implode?
It's a worthy sacrifice.
After nearly 12 hours of flight time, we arrive at Rocky Mountain House really late, but in one piece.
So, I definitely just messed up. We're actually mowing the grass here with our airplane propeller, so yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Well, if we just do a few passes, we can cut the grass first and then go.
I guess we could do that, yeah. Just make a few passes and mow the grass and then try to take off, I don't know.
Will we be able to make it, or will we go to prison for not filling out our border crossing paperwork properly? Find out in the next episode of Adventure Men.
Here we go.